Hello, and welcome back to Life with God Ministry, where we do life with God. Today, we are going to start doing life with God in the book of Genesis, my favorite book. So stay tuned because the end is not like the beginning. All right, I'm just going to be reading this from my book. I'm using the CSB, Christian Standard Bible Version. You can use KJV, ESV, whatever you want. This is just my personal favorite. It's my personal copy. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Genesis 1. Now, this is where a lot of people, whether you know God or not, are familiar with these first three words, and that is in the beginning. So let me read it over here. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness covered the surface of the watery depths, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. So, what's interesting to me is, well, I guess, yeah, interesting is I try to think of the Spirit of God hovering over something, like especially hovering over something that is formless. It's dark. We've only known this planet to have light and have things on it. So just the image of a God, like how do you see the Spirit of God? It's the Spirit of God invisible, um, hovering over something, kind of examining it and trying to figure out, okay, is this a worthy vessel? Is this something that's going to be good? Is this something I can make nice? Is this something that can be fruitful? Um, and I guess he said yes, because in verse 3 it says, Then God said, Let there be light. So he's like, let's lighten the place up a little. It's a bit dark. And there was light. And then God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. So he was like, okay, we need both, but we can't just, be in the dark all the time. So God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was an evening, there was a morning one day. He was like, okay, I think we're good here. Next day, God said, Let there be an expanse between the water, separating water from water. So God made the expanse and separated the water under the expanse from the water above the expanse, and it was so. God called the expanse sky. Now, that was a bit of a word salad for me. I know what it's saying because I have read Genesis a lot. But just thinking about how much water are we talking about? Like, I know you said that you were hovering over the surface of the watery depths. Like, when you think about the ocean and how much is still undiscovered to this day in the year of our Lord 2026, how much water are we talking about? Okay, because if you go in the ocean, which we call the beach, the surfaces, they're not the same. You have a shallow end, and then you have a very, very deep end where the light does not touch, and there are still animals and fish and all the, well, I don't, yeah, fish that we can't see, we have not discovered, and I'm not really in a rush to discover that. So I'm just wondering, like, did you just push all of it back? Like, okay, like that's just my thing. Did you push it all back? The sky, when you said expanse, when did you do the clouds? Like, when did you come up with the molecular composition of everything up there that we see when we're in airplanes? Um, Evening came, and then morning the second day. See, I didn't even finish that verse. Verse 9 then says, Then God said, Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, what we stand on, and the gathering of the water he called seas, period. He said separation. Again, he keeps separating things. He's like, okay, this is good, this is good. Let's separate it, though. So good here, good there. Okay. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, Let the earth produce vegetation, seed bearing plants, and fruit trees on the earth bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. You know what I love it when God's like, let's make this look pretty. Let's make this look really nice. Let's make this fancy perpetually. He didn't say, okay, we're going to try this magnolia tree and it's going to be a one off. No, he's like, y'all are going to have seeds and you're going to just replant. Keep going. Keep going. And I think that's really cool. I think that decorator. And it was so. The earth produced vegetation, seed bearing plants according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. Love it. And God saw that it was good. Evening came, and then morning, the third day. This is 3 days, y'all. Okay. Then God said, Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night. They will serve as signs for seasons and for days and for years. They will be lights in the expanse of the sky to provide light on the earth. And it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater lights to rule over the day and the lesser light to rule over the night. Now, when I growing up, if you're in America, you grew up And you learn that the moon doesn't actually have lights. Like when the Bible's talking about the two great lights, I'm like, okay, there's the sun. The moon, though, is just like a shadowy thing that we get to see and that chases us when we're in the car as children. Not a great light. And this is not me trying to blaspheme. This is not me calling God a liar. It's just very interesting the way we think of it, because you know what does have light? Stars, balls of gas, and their molecular composition, they emit light to us. But the Bible says that there's a lesser light. So what we know is the moon actually is sort of like reflects the rest of the sunlight that we don't see because the sun has set. So it's a reflection of, again, the greater light, but it serves as a lesser light to us because we can still see the moon. We can see the different shapes and everything, and how it doesn't really transform. But the where the light is hitting it, where the sun is hitting it, we can see the different shapes of the moon and how it transforms like perpetually. And it's still, sir, when we see it, we know, okay, it's nighttime. Like when we start to see the moon doesn't go anywhere, but when we start to see the moon more pronounced, it serves as a reminder that it's nighttime, not necessarily of like it's super bright like the sun, or it's like a little less bright. It is a reflection, and God is saying, here are these two things. I'm going to put them there. So this, and this is that. Really cool. Um, yeah, I just always like, I don't know, that for me that was an internal problem. I was like, the moon doesn't really have lights, but it still serves as a lesser light. So very true. And God saw that it was good. Hold on, wait. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule over the day and the lesser light to rule over the night, as well as the stars. That was Genesis 1, verse 16. Verse 17 says, God placed them in the expanse of the sky to provide light on the earth, to rule the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. Evening came, and then morning, the fourth day. We're 4 days in, and the earth is starting to sound like the earth that we know and love today. Then God said, let the water swarm with living creatures. Okay. We're getting living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky. So not only is it pretty now, not only do we have plants and food, we have these little cute creatures. I assume that they're cute. They're cute to God. So God created the large sea creatures and every living creature that moves and swarms in the water, even the things that we have not seen before, according to their kinds. He also created every winged creature according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them. Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the water to the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth. Evening came, and then morning, the fifth day. We're 5 days in. As I was reading this, I was thinking, as I have read the book of Genesis, I love Genesis down. As I have read the book of Genesis, I've always imagined God again in spirit form saying, go be fruitful and multiply, like loud enough so everyone else could hear. But maybe as I record this, I think maybe it was more like the animals heard him in their bodies and their spirits. I don't know if animals have spirits. They probably do, actually, because they're all very different. Maybe it wasn't like God had like a megaphone in physical form, but he's able, because he's connected to everything, able to speak to them on the inside. And so that's what they did. Then God said, let the earth produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that crawl. That's how we got bugs. And the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. So God made the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that crawl on the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. So we see that God has an order, like this whole way through. He's like, okay, if you are a raspberry bush, okay, when you uh reproduce, you're not reproducing blueberries, you're going to reproduce a raspberry, because if you reproduce as a blueberry, you were out of order, because that's not according to your kind. And God has designed everything to go perpetuate according to its kind. Okay, that's why we as humans cannot have cats. We can't give birth to cats. Only cats can give birth to other cats. And they start off as kittens. So God made the wildlife on the earth. Then God said, let us make man. Wait, did I do that? God made the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds, of livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that crawl on the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good, like you said. Verse 26, then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Again, it's like, according to our likeness. They will rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the livestock, the whole earth, and the creatures that crawl on the earth. So God created man in his own image. He created him in the image of God. He created them, male and female. So I love this part because God is like, because I don't know what language God was speaking in when he was saying all these things, but when he was talking to himself, because he's 3 in 1, he was like, let's make a creature that is similar to us, right? Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And I could just imagine like Jesus looking maybe at his toes and his hands and saying, it'd be really cool to have to see something like this again. Let's put it on the earth. Let's start with the man first. Let's do the man. And when I was a kid and I heard of the verse and I, would hear all the time, we were created in the image of God, I just was flabbergasted. I could not understand what they were talking about. I was like, everyone looks so different. What do you mean we're created in his image? And I remember one day, I believe in Sunday service, and I wish I had this picture, but I tried to create the image of God, and I created this really giant blob. Like, I just thought it's very giant blob with different nose shapes, different eye shapes, and different mouth shapes. And I was like, is this what God looks like? And it wasn't until I matured, when I realized that when the Bible is saying that we were made in his image, it's talking about character and not physical. Because I was like, does the Lord have lips like mine? Like, did I get that from him? I thought I inherited that from my parents. We we inherited love, we inherited compassion from God, we inherited humor from God, we inherited a sense of justice from God. We are made in his image, all of us, whether you like these people on earth or not, they're still created in God's image. We all are image bearers of God, and I think that's really cool. He said more of this. Verse 28, God blessed them. That's really important. God saw them, was like, yeah. And God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. Now, in this part, he probably was just standing face to face and was like, yeah, you do that, instead of like in the spirit. But I don't know. I wasn't there. Rule the fish of the sea. Love that. Because we have dominion over the animals. We're not supposed to abuse them. The birds of the sky, and every creature that crawls on the earth. God also said, look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant on the surface of the entire earth, and every tree whose fruit contains seed. This will be food for you. Veganism. Veganism. For all the wildlife of the earth, for every bird of the sky, and for every creature that crawls on the earth, everything having the breath of life in it, I have given every green plant for food. So also all the animals that you see, they're also taken care of. Like, you do not have to worry about feeding all of them. I've created a life cycle for them. They're good. And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good indeed. Evening came, and then morning, the 6th day. And that is the end of Genesis 1. We're not even to the 7th day yet. And he created a lot. He did a lot. To look at something, those of you out there who are creative and are like designers and different kinds of artists, to look at something and go, oh, I wonder what it would look like if I did this with it, if I did that with it. What if I see this and I put my own spin to it. That's also like being created in the image of God. You got that gift from the Lord, because this is literally what he did with the earth. He said, okay, I'm gonna hover, let me see what I can make out of this thing, right? With all the water, pushed it back, separated, made the sky, made the sun and the moon and the stars, and they're pretty to look at. Okay, there are a lot of stars. That I was looking up on NASA's website, and it said that there were about like septillion stars. I had to Google what septillion meant, because I was like, I past a trillion, I didn't, in a infinity, I didn't know like there were such measures, and there are. And they're saying, they claim to believe that there are more stars than there are sand on the earth, and sand is, we have a lot of sand on this earth. All these things God created, and he also created life cycles, and he created things to bloom in beauty in cycles perpetually. And he also not just did that, but he created you and I, and he said, go be fruitful and multiply. He blessed them first. He blessed them, and I don't even know exactly what that means when he blesses um Adam and Eve, but he gave them his blessing, his favor, and his love, and empowered them to go and like chill. I haven't heard him say, I need you to build me a barn. I need you to build me a woodshed. I need you to build me this. You need to get that tree over there, cut it down, use it, build blah blah blah. God is saying, like, uh, all of this is taken care of. Don't even worry about the other animals that I made before you got here. They're taken care of. They have their own food resource. You have your own food resource. You have your own supply that blooms perpetually. Like, it blooms perpetually. Perpetually. Don't even worry about it. I got you. Just be here. This is yours. Like, look around. Imagine you were just, I'm not gonna get angry. I'm not gonna get angry. But do you see how good everything was? Before we get to our next part, this has been Genesis chapter 1, and we see God's character from the beginning as a provider. He is literally the provider. He is an artist, he is an order, and he is a provider, and he's a comfort. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time.